I'm very intrigued by the point that you made, and you said that you think Dan would agree as well, which is the university is a very ableist institution. Is it because there is a cutoff point, or there are grades that are required? Because you mentioned the intellectual abilities, right? Then if that's the case, right, then what about sports or high-level competitive sports? Is that an ableist uh, inst arena as well? What about other things, right? What about arts? Because not everybody can act. Is that an ableist? Because I mean, are we not stretching the term, the meaning of the term, if we say that, oh, as long as there's exclusion of certain things? I mean, there is no definition that doesn't exclude something, right? Otherwise, the definition is meaningless, right? So are we not stretching the term by saying that, oh, because there are standards, or there are certain standards which exclude others from an institution, therefore it is ableist?
I mean, I don't think we're stretching the term. I think we are considering the expansive nature of the term in critical thinking. So if we were to ask what is the university for, now clearly the university is for many things. It's for training doctors, for example. And it's for, there are particular layers and levels of knowledge generation and knowledge production that universities should of course be engaged with. But also universities are civic contexts. They should serve their communities. And there's a deep irony. For example, I can only speak from the British context here, where you have universities in particular towns which bear no resemblance to their towns in terms of the lack of diversity within the university.
Right.
So I think there's something. Look, I'm not trying to move away from your question, because I think it's an important one, right? And it's not this idea that we read everything as ableist. But what it does do is it I suppose tunes us in to ask questions about the reason that certain institutions exist, and one of those would be the university. And I think universities, personally, I think universities should be exploited by the industrial working classes to hopefully better their lives. That might be one reason that universities can be exploited. And equally, I think that universities can be used and should be used by disabled people and disabled people's organisations to make the world a more inclusive space. Now, how responsive universities are to those kind of aspirations is a bigger question.
Thank you. We were moving in Marxist territory there. But, but that's fine, no problems. Yeah. So yeah, thank you. Yeah, carry on. Yeah.
Or maybe just to add on to Dan's point, right? If you look at say NTU, where we are at, and SMU, right? And SMU has I think a diversity, equity, and inclusion policy. Does NTU have the same? I think it shows you that universities are not singular, not monolithic structures, that they are different priorities faced by different universities as well. And that reflects, I think, the point that we are trying to make around the kinds of structures that
so we do have that as well, right? The inclusion and integration. But again, as in it's always, I mean, these things, what does being inclusive mean? And also you have to ask, is it a lot of times big institutions, they jump on a particular bandwagon, and then you have to ask what's the substance of what is being said. Actually, I'm not saying NTU. Okay, NTU is my employer, not NTU, but others, right? So we can have all of these programs, but how exactly does it manifest itself? So thank you so much. And this, we have about 5 minutes. If you don't mind, we can extend a little bit more. But